Good afternoon or morning, depending on where you are in the country. My name is Megan Riley, and I wanted to welcome you to 360 Alumni's webinar, What Every Alumni Relations Pro Needs to Know About Online Communities. I wanted to pause for a moment and share with you this quote from Gartner because I believe it encompasses what we'll be talking about on today's presentation. And I also wanted to thank you so much for the overwhelmingly positive response to today's session. We have over 130 schools registered, so thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. A few housekeeping items before we get started. We do have a hashtag for today's event, Alumni Community, so if you like what you hear, please do share on your social networks. You can also tweet us directly at 360Alumni. To help you put a face to a name, my name is Megan Riley and I work in client services here at 360 Alumni. And joining me today, I have Jim Jarvie, our marketing director.
Hello, everyone.
Now, before we delve in, I wanted to take a moment and reflect on some of the challenges that we in alumni relations and advancement are facing today. Do you ever feel as if there's something missing between you and your constituents? You've tried all of the traditional methods to reach them and the results just don't seem to be getting any better? We know exactly how you feel. Your audience's needs have changed. The old ways of communicating, fundraising, garnering support and engagement are simply becoming less effective. And we at 360 Alumni call that the engagement gap. Now, boiled down to its simplest, the formula is quite simple. This gap occurs anytime institutional goals don't quite align with alumni needs. Now, we in the education industry are in the midst of transformational change. Faced with unprecedented economic challenges and budget cuts, institutions must embrace new ways to use technology to maximize the value of alumni relationships. Colleges and universities are finding it increasingly challenging to realize the benefits of traditional outreach, such as phone-a-thons and direct mail, in engaging constituents. As a result, there exists a gap between us, alumni relations, advancement, and communications, and alumni and the value that they perceive beyond graduation. Online alumni communities seek to close this engagement gap. Now, this isn't just something that we are saying. 360 Alumni conducted primary research in June of 2013, and alumni themselves told us the same thing. 49% told us that they never visit their school's website. Now, that's huge. Half of constituents are not returning. Half of possible donors are being lost after graduation. Now, on the other hand, 82% responded that they would visit their school's network, their school's website, if it were more like a social network, if it allowed them to connect on their terms, create their own groups and discussions, post jobs, and create their own meetups. Now, in order to ensure that all of our engagement initiatives are matching with the expectations that alumni have, we need to understand what they want from their alma mater. As Ryan Catherwood, a thought leader in the industry for engagement and advancement strategy, says, we must meet alumni as they travel forward through life, instead of always asking them to travel back. Through extensive primary research, we've identified the 6 key things that all alumni require from their alma mater. The ability to stay easily connected. When your alumni graduate, they have so much affinity for your school. They want to stay up to date on events, news, what their friends have accomplished, and your school-sponsored network should allow them to accomplish these objectives in a very friendly environment. Now, if that network is difficult to navigate, your alumni aren't coming back. Your alumni are looking for help securing a great career, even beyond graduation. The days of one career for life have long since gone by. By offering job postings, career resources, and facilitating a place where alumni can help others and recruit for their company, you can help alumni directly and help them to help one another to secure great careers. Your alumni are looking for a permanent home, both on campus and off. They're looking for a virtual place that is private and only for those with the great distinction of being a graduate from your university. Now, this serves as a place they can turn to anytime life throws them a curveball. Maybe they're looking for a new job or moving to a new neighborhood or simply looking to increase their social sphere. In fact, according to a study by the Society of New Media Communications and Research, 80% of respondents participate in online communities in order to help others. Alumni are looking for a strong brand. Your university name goes before them in job interviews and is one of the first things that an employer sees when looking at their resume. So ensure that you're continually building that brand with a strong alumni community and job placement rates. Your alumni are looking for right-sized ways to give back. Right out of school, many alumni will not be able to make $1,000 donations and may be paying loans for years to come, but that doesn't mean that they're not interested in giving back to your school. In fact, according to a study by Achieve 3000, 83% of millennials, those born between 1980 and 2000, made a financial gift in 2012. By offering smaller, more targeted campaigns with attainable goals, you can yield better results, tap into these millennials' giving power, and offer the emotional satisfaction that leads to continued giving. And finally, your alumni are looking for transparency. In the world today, we're all looking for immediate feedback. Alumni want to know how the campaign performed overall, how many lives were touched, how much money was raised, and no matter what the size of their gift, each alumnus would like to feel gratitude from their institution. Now, when all 6 of these components come together, we get that terrific gratitude. You feel it from your school for your alumni, and your alumni feel it for all the terrific things that you as a university have done for them beyond graduation. Now step back and ask yourself for a moment if all of your engagement initiatives are achieving these 6 alumni needs. Online communities were designed specifically to address these concerns. Now I can hear you yelling at me from the audience. We've got enough on our plates. We're juggling fundraising, events, social media, data maintenance, record upkeep. How can we possibly take on more initiatives and another platform? The solution is simple: alumni-driven engagement. The beauty of online communities is that your alumni will want to participate. No longer are we using traditional methods to push communications out to alumni and hope that they take the desired action. Online communities facilitate two-way conversation between you and your alumni. And they'll also be generating content for you. They'll be commenting on discussion boards, creating their own meetups, recruiting for their company, and as a result, over time, online communities start to run themselves. And best of all, you'll be building your brand on a daily basis and using the integrated fundraising tools, exceeding your advancement goals with minimal additional effort. Now, I wanted to provide for you a more formal definition of what an online community actually is, because this has been an emerging trend in the industry for the past few years. Now, we first turned to the Council for Advancement and Support of Education, and they admitted that they, too, are still in the process of defining an online community. But I did find this definition from Jenny Priest, the Dean of IT at the University of Maryland, and she believes that online communities consist of 4 parts. The first are the people, those who interact socially as they strive to satisfy their needs, in our case, alumni. The second is a shared purpose, which provides a reason for the community, in our case, all having graduated from your alma mater. Third, policies, in the form of assumptions, rituals, rules, and laws that guide people's interactions. This is your alumni's desire to help others with the knowledge that others will in turn be willing to help them, facilitating a very cohesive alumni network. And finally, computer systems, which facilitate this sense of togetherness. Now, our online communities are completely cloud-based, saving you on IT resources, allowing for quicker implementation, and overall offering significant cost savings over traditional communication methods. And now I'd like to turn it over to Jim to share with you how this impacts your university.
Thank you so much, Megan. In practical terms, online communities can be accessed from any web browser. They're built specifically to serve as a central hub for your interaction with your alumni. As the hub in a spoken wheel model, you're connecting your school with your alumni and enhancing many of the communication vehicles you already use. They are separate and distinct from your school's website. They can leverage your social media programs, but are not intended to replace them. And they're not a CRM application per se. They are much easier to deploy and much less costly. Online communities foster a place for alumni to stay connected to the university and to each other. A place to find old friends as well as make new ones. It represents the best chance to enhance their career opportunities through networking, posting, and applying for jobs with much greater affinity than what is provided on the standard job boards. And it enables alumni to give back to your school using a crowdsourced fundraising model. Let's focus a moment on business models. Here is a very pertinent quote from Gartner. You see, no matter what your job title or role is, you need to partner with your constituents to continually nurture and develop a substantial giving model. Not only do online communities offer a great opportunity to engage alumni in a meaningful way, but they also afford a significant cost savings over traditional communication methods. Let's take a look. Here's a comparative cost analysis between traditional alumni outreach programs and online communities. This chart represents a compilation of ROI research conducted by third parties. For our purposes today, we're assuming an average alumni base of 30,000 records. With ever-increasing constraints on budgets, alumni relations offices are being asked to do more with less. Using online communities, you gain the advantage of cultivating engagement in a way that alumni prefer while cutting costs by up to 75%. Another important factor to consider is time. If you were to create a traditional outreach campaign between finding and onboarding a vendor, training and preparation, production costs, executing a detailed rollout plan, and waiting to compile and measure the results, a program could easily take 3 months before seeing any impact. Conversely, online communities are software as a service platforms. They are pre-built with the functionality that you and your alumni want. They provide a user-friendly structure that facilitates the engagement, allowing you to generate results in as little as a week or two. And because online communities are so easy to use, maintaining and updating relevant content happens in a couple of clicks in the web browser. There's absolutely no dependencies on IT or web support resources. I'd like to share a few statistics from the Millennial Impact Report, created each year by Achieve and JG Associates. Millennials, that's the term for members of the population born between 1980 and 2000. Demographically speaking, they represent one of the most significant segments of our alumni audience. Here are some interesting facts about them. There are about 76 million millennials in the United States. Millennials are the last generation born in the 20th century. A number of studies anticipate that millennials will be the first American generation to do less well economically than their parents. Millennials are the net generation because they don't remember a time when there was no internet. As a result of growing up with the internet and the associated devices, millennials are the most technologically savvy generation to date. Knowing this helps us better understand the giving behaviors and characteristics of this vast group of constituents. This graphic clearly shows a preference regarding donations, and that is online giving. and for good reason. 83% of the respondents made a gift in 2012. The ability to give online, discuss and share their giving interests socially are all important considerations for this segment, and they're becoming accustomed to giving and contributing in this manner. 52%, over half, would be interested in monthly giving or setting up recurring payments if it were easy and unobtrusive to do so. And 49% would give more if they could see the impact, a transparency thought, giving to the causes that appeal to them the most. When we think about the constituent pyramid, we gain some really important insights as to how online communities can make a big difference by opening and supplementing revenue streams. The triangle on the left represents your universe of donors. The upper red tip, those are your most engaged alumni. They participate actively and give the largest amounts in gifts, but represent the smallest percent or portion in terms of total numbers. Demographically, they are those constituents furthest along in their careers, some 21 to 40 years post-graduation. The portion below, 2/3 or more, represents the largest upside for increased giving. Online communities really facilitate drawing from this audience, which largely consists of the millennials we just spoke about. According to the Voluntary Support of Education Survey in 2013, the average annual alumni gift is $1,206, but this is spread out across the entire pyramid, and it includes large contributions. What about everybody else? The green portion labeled below, the sweet spot? For this group, the average annual gift may be more in line with $50. A quick what-if scenario using an alumni base of 30,000 can shed some light. If you were to increase 2 times the gifting frequency, that would provide an additional $150,000. If you could expand the giving rate from 10% to 15%, that's another $75,000 in support realized. Note, these are very achievable goals in the first year of an online community implementation. You can achieve your goals because you've just enlisted a very willing partner to help. Who is this helper? It's the members of your online community, of course. Online communities are unique in that they offer a connectivity multiplier. When you combine two-way communication and meaningful content with exponential connectivity, the results can be very powerful. As alumni embrace the value of the interactive community that their alma mater provides, they will tell others about it. They'll share it on social networks. They'll invite colleagues to join groups and meet at events. As the community grows, it greatly supports your objectives of increasing and managing your alumni base, finding and reconnecting with alumni you've lost touch with, and keeping alumni data up to date and accurate. With online communities, your alumni partner with your office to help drive interest and adoption. What about social networks? Let's pause for a moment and view Social Media Explained. It may provide some very important insight. We are often asked, well, why would I need an online community if we're leveraging the big brand social networks? We all like social networks. They're easy to use and familiar. They maintain themselves. They have really large membership numbers. And they're free. By extension of this fun analogy, online communities would represent a complete box of all kinds of donuts, conveniently stored and ready to consume, because online communities represent all of the value of the big brand social networks without any of the drawbacks. What kinds of drawbacks? Let's explore an often overlooked caveat of the big brand social networks. Clearly, the big brand social networks do not share the same objectives for your constituents. They have their own agenda, advertising and marketing. There's way too much noise. There's a lot going on in the network, and this can be a huge distraction. And at the end of the day, who owns that alumni data? You can't get access to it. The networks are not hubs. Each has its own mission, a walled garden approach, and they really don't play well together. There are over a dozen today, And who knows how many there will be tomorrow? How will you manage them all? Unfortunately, while you can put your logo and a link of your website on the network, that's about all of the brand recognition you can get. It's not an ideal brand building instrument. And lastly, and perhaps most importantly, there is no integrated fundraising capability with built-in credit card processing. So sure, the big brand social networks are on the hip side of the engagement spectrum, and we really do like them and use them, but just how much are these channels helping you to achieve your alumni relations goals? We can all relate to this comic strip, right? You don't have to settle for various vague things when you decide to implement an online community, because the community takes the guesswork out of the equation. You get real-time engagement, a more controlled but shareable environment, new ways to secure and improve revenue streams with complete reporting and measured ROI.
Thank you so much, Jim. And in summary, we've compiled an overview of the benefits of online communities. They build your brand on a daily basis, not LinkedIn's, not Facebook's, your university's brand. You own the data and you can use it any way you choose. There's no more scraping of data and worrying about privacy concerns, worrying that your alumni will unsubscribe. They have bought into this network, they want to use it, and the data is being generated every day for you to use. Know your return on investment. There's none of the guesswork that comes along with social networks. Alumni goals are 100% aligned with university goals through online communities because they were developed specifically for that purpose. Your alumni achieve their networking objectives, and your university builds its brand, exceeds its advancement goals, can send custom marketing emails, and overall provides an experience for alumni well beyond graduation. They allow you to engage the entire constituent pyramid, including those often overlooked millennials. Online communities are very quick to implement, do not take any IT resources, and are much more cost-effective than many of the traditional methods. And finally, online communities provide far improved data quality because your alumni will be updating their records daily for you. In short, online communities bridge the engagement gap. We match alumni desires for networking with the university's desires of bringing alumni back beyond graduation. And we wanted to provide a takeaway for you today and showcase how Pitt Community College is building their own custom online community. You can access this resource on the web at www.360alumni.com/uploads/PCC case study. We have the link displayed right here. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm Megan Riley, and I had with me Jim Jarvie, and we are 360 Alumni.
Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.